Y'all have got to stop creating or consuming whose fault is it that we lost in November style content before you literally TikTok beef our democracy out of existence. And look, I understand why people find that content to be so emotionally satisfying. First of all, I literally worked for Kamala Harris's campaign. Trust and believe I have big feelings about the fact that we lost in November. Trust and believe I have big opinions on why we lost in November. But also trust and believe that if you go to my profile, you're not going to find videos centered around those feelings and opinions, because that content is not fucking helpful right now. And let's call a spade, y'all. The reason that the overwhelming majority of content creators still creating that type of content in February of 2025 is because it continues to make them money. And to quote a Bo Burnham song, they're going to continue to beat that dead horse until it stops spitting out money. I'm not saying that's true of all of them. I do genuinely believe that there are some pieces of content that get created around that topic that actually are helpful because they're centered around lessons we can learn or how we can apply that knowledge moving forward to make sure we win the next fight. And please know that I was very specific when I started this video by saying that you have to not only stop creating that type of content, but also you have to stop consuming it. Because the reason that those content creators are continuing to beat that dead horse is because y'all keep shoving dollar bills up its ass. They will not stop creating that content until y'all stop consuming it. And I'm not even trying to shame you for needing that kind of emotional release, because I understand needing to vent off some of the frustration and anger and fear and anxiety that we are all feeling right now, not even a month into the second Trump presidency. I genuinely cannot believe that I'm about to admit this on the internet, but in 2016, when I was also working on that presidential campaign, and I was 15 out of 10 stressed all the time, having to see Donald Trump target marginalized communities 24/7. I had to find a place that I could easily vent some of that off. So I ended up discovering that the content that did that for me was the Jerry Springer Show. I started TiVoing the Jerry Springer Show so that I could play that day's episode as I was falling asleep that night. And again, I know how embarrassing that is to admit that on Beyonce's internet, but at least the Jerry Springer Show did not run the risk of helping speed along the destruction of our democracy. And I say that this type of content is speeding along the destruction of our democracy because there is a reason that you do not see conservatives having this kind of very public, very protracted ideological beef with one another. They know how to keep family fights inside the house. And most importantly, they very much know how to present a united front when it matters most. And in case you haven't noticed, right now is when it matters most.